I'm not sure how to start this video, but I was on Instagram and I started to see a lot of pictures of Antoine Bourdain, the famous chef, and then clicking on some of them I realized what happened. I don't know much about it in terms of story, but it seems it's a doer to suicide. Um, why am I making the video? What the first reaction to this was, God damn it, God damn it. It always it always comes back to that vulnerabilities that we all have, and I don't want to use the word mental health issues because sometimes those things are so complicated and so hard to pinpoint. But one thing that I know for sure, and that's probably the reason why I'm doing this video, is that we give so much for granted the fact that a person that seems to have everything running for themselves, it's not allowed to have negative thoughts or to go through rough patches or be sensitive or whatever, and things that leads to outcome such as this. And the truth is that most time artists are sensitive people, vulnerable people, and in an environment where you're exposed to so much perhaps corruption and favor for favor, I don't know, can be taxing on the human soul. But where I'm going with this, it felt a little bit like it just hit home in a way because I sympathize with it. I sympathize with it. I empathize with it completely. Because sometimes I just feel like this society that is creating more and more individuals which they are separated from one another. This strangely hybrid, bastardized society where everything is just individualistic desires and consumption. And that just creates a gap between humans. We are so much sociable creatures that we need that. We need that pure, trustful interaction with one another. And more, in a society of greed and consumption, we cut those ties, we mistrust people, we close in. And whenever we have something, we have anxiety, panic, depression, which is more serious, but we close in, we seem not to have anybody to talk to because people that have anything to do with their, mental health type of thing, they're considered or branded right away, or people are just scared to come out and search for help. And this thing, like when I read this news this morning, I really like this guy. I mean, like many of you, I don't know why. Always a good friend of mine, introduced me to the show. Actually, my good friend and drummer, which we used to play together, he says like, you should check this guy out. Show you will like him. And I saw the show, and I thought like, yes, it's true. I like him. It's really nice. He looked like more like a guy belonging in a band that doing a show. But it was so cool. And the reason why it pissed me off is because I thought, if we could just like be better at talking to one another, if we could just be better at communicating with one another without shame, maybe a lot of those things could be avoided. Could be avoided. Maybe this guy needed a little bit extra love. I don't want to sound naive or silly, but sometimes it's all it takes, to find more people which they care for you, that they show you unconditional love, that they just pat you on the shoulder in a way that it can just nourish your soul, And I can imagine that sometimes, I don't know, it's so complicated. I don't know what's going on here, if there was any depression or any issue or drugs, I don't know. But it all comes back to, if we could just talk to one another a little bit more freely and trust each other and develop on that and expand on that instead of just being jealous of one another, severing those truthful connection between human beings, which they are so necessary, and we should cherish that instead of just trying to climb the ladder of success, which is void, which is in the end, as you can see, so many successful artists, they take their lives. It's ironic and crazy. And this is why I'm making this video, because I would just wish that we could talk better to one another, open up with less shame, with no shame, so that people that need help can search for help without being branded, without being scrutinized by the media, by this old machine that just chews you in and spits you out just because of making headlines and stuff like that, you know? Just be kinder, be more sympathetic to other people's needs and suffering, and perhaps, I'm just saying perhaps, a lot of those things could be avoided, because in this case it's a person that has, you know, as a celebrity status, people know who he is, but there are so many other people hiding in families around the world, in every country, which perhaps they should come out, you know, and ask for help, and they don't, and it leads to the same conclusion. And I just hope, you know, I just hope that we can sensitize more. We can become better listening at one another, because we never know. You never know. You could be the one needing help, or somebody, you know, around you could be the one needing help. So, yeah, that's it. I don't know. I just, you know, at this train of thought, I just want to let it out with a sense of hopefulness that we can get better at this.